In this episode, what does chewing, walking backwards, and humming have to do with this episode?
And on the flip side, is pottery painting an underrated skill to learn? And here's a quick tip for all you people on TV. We can all go back and see what you said, so don't get caught in a really bad white lie. Mike, hit the music. Everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. Make sure you grab the biggest cup you can find, grab your coolers, head to 7-Eleven. It's Slurpee Day, the best day of the year. There's nothing else to be said. But before you do that, or if you're on your way, if you have some travel, welcome to the Funny Business Podcast. We're glad to have you. Mike, how are you? How are things? That's the end of the episode.
Slurping, man. You ever just want to slurp in peace before?
You're not in peace.
I am.
I'm not in
calm.
Peace.
Okay. Can't you just slurp one with the boys?
Nope. Nope. There will be no slurping on the bachelor party weekend.
Well, you never know, because it's not even. I know there's not even a plan yet. Let me tell you.
What do you mean there's not a plan? We have a plan.
There's not a plan.
We have a plan.
I have some intel that I know there's not a plan right now.
What do you mean there's no plan?
Well, you'll find out.
We have a plan.
It's not like you're planning it or not.
We have days that we're doing things.
I
have a concept of a plan.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I do have a plan. I just really haven't told anyone my plan.
Oh, okay.
It's a surprise for everyone involved.
Jeez.
I gotta iron some things out.
Okay. Well, let's iron some things out. Matt, let's use your big brain, shall we?
Yep.
Big brain.
Big brain.
Matt, I feel like I'm a fitness instructor today. What I'm going to tell you is I'm going to tell you 3 weird ways to keep your brain healthy.
Okay.
So this was from a Harvard-trained neuroscientist. Delightful and dropping these oddball tips to keep your brain young, sharp, and potentially TikTok famous. Now I'm starting to sound like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, this does sound like a scheme.
All right. Kevin Woods. Harvard-trained neuroscientist and director of science at Brain.fm.
It's a radio station?
Apparently that's the radio station, but the brain waves on the radio waves in the brain, insane in the membrane. So, New York Post reported this by Tracy Swartz. Matt, take a wild guess, these 3 things on how to keep your brain healthy. Don't think too health-oriented. These are interesting things that you wouldn't think would sharpen your brain.
Okay. So I was going to say eating healthy, so I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
Correct.
I'm going to say yelling at the TV when your favorite sports team is losing.
Okay.
I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say scrolling on social media.
Ooh.
No.
Incorrect.
Okay. All right. And then final guess, I will say, you know what? I'm going to throw one healthy one out there, walking.
Oh, okay. You're half right.
Oh, all right. I like it.
So, key details here. Matt, the first one. You're going to love this first one and how you keep your brain healthy. Chewing gum or chewing.
Okay.
So, the chewing boosts blood flow to the brain. Oxygen plus glucose equals good vibes for memory and focus. It also reduces stress and improves attention.
I'm not a big gum guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do tell.
But I do enjoy eating.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that makes sense because like your jaw is chewing, like moving, and the muscles are close to the brain.
Yeah, slapping dim gums.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, we're just gonna move on. All right,
Okay.
Matt, you said you were half right. And walking, but Matt,
Yes,
walking backwards.
Oh, that kind of makes sense in my head.
Mm-hmm. So you are correct. It makes sense in the head and the brain because it improves memory, cognitive control, posture, and burns more calories.
Yeah, my thought process behind this one, I don't know if you're thinking the same thing, you don't always walk backwards, so your brain has to do a little more work when you're walking backwards. That's all I got.
Which is interesting because I myself have tried walking and in the one scenario running backwards, almost killed myself. That's fine. I think that's why I'm such a genius now, because I was running backwards.
Did you ever do the challenge in like field day at school where like you had to run backwards, first one to get to line one?
So there was this activity Well, it was called PT, which was in the 2-a-days for soccer for high school in the afternoon. So we'd have like a soccer practice in the morning and the soccer practice in the afternoon. So we'd have PT in the afternoon, and diabolical. We had this big ass hill near the soccer field, and we had to run it up. Like, so we had to go down the hill, run back up, and then he made us run down the hill and made us run backwards up the hill. Matt, my calves were on fire.
So I've done hills. I used to love hills in high school. I thought it was fun. Backwards up the hill? That's diabolical.
Your feet and your legs felt a completely different way when you were doing that uphill.
That had to take like twice as long.
Yeah. You had to burn through it. Like, and it wasn't just like, oh, like everybody, like just take your time. Like, no, you were pushed and you ran up the hill backwards.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane.
And then there was this weird thing too, where like you'd get up in a push-up position, and then you would practically like crawl up. It was a fence, but you would practically crawl up the wall using your legs until you were like doing a handstand, and then you would bring yourself all the way back down in a push-up position.
Oh, okay. I kind of like that.
It was good. That was
that's fun.
That was my party trick, because I did a lot of parties in high school. You know me.
Yeah, tons of parties.
So Matt, the third and final one, which is a little controversial in my opinion, humming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it stimulates the vagus nerve, or the vagus nerve, or I'm not even gonna say that. It's basically your connection between your brain and your organs. It boosts nitric oxide, which is good for mood and brain blood flow. So the individual said, breath control for sustained notes exercises the same neural networks involved in attention regulation.
I'm guessing based on your reaction, you're not a humming guy.
I am not a humming guy because it annoys my partner.
Okay, that's fair.
Annoys the fiancée. She doesn't like it when you hum for no beat or reason. Like if you're humming to a song, like while a song is playing, that's fine. But if you're just like going, that no, not about it.
You know what? I don't know what that voice crack was. I was going to. That was one of the worst ones yet. I was going to say, yeah, man, I agree with that. See, now that's not going to make her happy either.
Yeah, man.
I can understand where she's coming with that though, because humming a song is good and there's a reason for it. If you're just like, oh, humming, that does get annoying.
So here's the thing: you can chew gum, walk backwards, and hum. Ultimate brain sharpness test.
You could do that all at once.
Yeah. Can
you chew and hum at the same time?
I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I'm bothered.
I'm also bothered by whatever the hell that was.
What even? Oh, okay.
That's gonna make for a great clip.
All right, Matt. So obviously the chewing, the humming, and the walking backwards, very simple stuff. What would you consider your mental health habit that is not like your typical like walk outside or do this or do that?
Something that like takes my mind off things, you mean?
No, just basically like improves the skill or like sharpens the brain.
Sharpens the brain. I play a lot of Yahtzee on my phone. I've talked about this.
Dude,
have I not talked about this?
You've not.
No?
I've known you for so long, and I did not know you played Yahtzee.
Yeah, I've started playing Yahtzee with like April's family. So I have a Yahtzee app. It's like a knockoff. It's not actual Yahtzee. It's called YAZY, but it's the same thing.
Yahtzee.
I play this so often, and it does like ease my mind, but it's also like you got to do like math and calculations, and you got to try to, save your dice for a large instead of just going for the 5. Like there's some like strategy in it too. And I play it pretty often. I actually had a doctor thing this morning and I was kind of just sitting in the chair waiting. Wi-Fi was not working. My data was not working. So all I had was to play Yahtzee. So I sat there for like an hour and just played Yahtzee.
Interessante.
What about you?
I'm thinking video games, man.
Yeah.
A little quick wit, moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Work. I think in many cases, on some occasions, there's a lot of physical labor when it comes to it. Like from a normal office job, there's a lot of physical labor when it comes to it. So that usually keeps the brain sharp and just the body moving. So
I agree with video games. I think a lot of people say that video games not good for like mental health, and it can be in some scenarios. But I think a lot of people are starting to use video games as a way to like escape. And there are clips of like sometimes you rage at video games. People are like that can't be relaxing, but it is because it's taking your mind off of actual real life things and stress. So that's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a good, I mean, yeah, sometimes I get really pissed off about it, but there's other times where I am enjoying myself, but I also feel like I'm moving up in a quote level of intensity and focus.
Yeah, no, there's something cool about like grinding the game and just progressing, and it does take time and effort, but it's relieving at the end of the day.
So we do have to talk about some things. For chewing. I think chewing either on gum, food, totally fine. But if like you put a pencil in your mouth or a pen, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, you also can't just like move your jaw up and down with nothing in it, I'm assuming.
Yes. I'm not going to try it on camera again.
Yeah, please don't.
Nope. I'm okay.
Are you a gum person?
Yes. Gum, beat bum, beat
I was about to say, I've never seen you chew a piece of gum in my life.
Usually it is when I get offered one. Jenna's always like, person who's always like got the goods. So I'm always like, yeah, sure, I'll have a piece. I mean, sunflower seeds, like played baseball, like in between innings. I never like played with like a mouthful, but in between innings, like if I wanted like a snack, like sunflower seeds were the best. But yeah, make sure you do more of those things because you want a sharper brain because, you know, everybody wants big brain. Brain for big people. Here we are.
Big brain in the membrane.
Big brain in the membrane.
Okay, we are going to slide on in to the second half of the show. Record scratch. We're going to do funny business for review first.
Woohoo!
I texted this to Mike, what I found. So, Mike, you've talked about the Miller Lite beer can chicken Pringles.
Heck yeah.
You said they were not good.
No, I did not say that.
Okay.
You can go back and check. They weren't hyped up to be what we were thinking of to be that good, you know?
Okay. All right. That's fair.
They're still good, but like all the hype we put up for it, probably not the best. Anyway, continue.
Okay. So I did find them at the store. However, that is not what I will be reviewing today. What I will be reviewing is the other half of the Miller Lite Pringle release, the grilled beer brat Pringle.
I'm very curious on how this is going to go.
I think this one, in theory, might be better than... I haven't tried the chicken yet either.
Oh, and a fresh seal.
You freshly sealed. Oh, okay. It doesn't smell like brat, but...
Okay. Sniff test going on.
What does that smell like? I know what it smells like. I can't think of it. It makes for a great podcast.
There you go. I can't smell anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All right. One chip. Everyone knows rules. You know what? That's pretty good.
Isn't it?
It actually has like a good brat flavor.
Does it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's actually a Pringle that, like, you know, sometimes these releases you can only have like a few at a time.
Yeah.
Instead of just like some people can eat like a whole can. That, like, you could actually eat a lot of in one sitting.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that an 8.2.
Oh.
It was really, really good. Yeah. Pleasantly surprised.
So, Matt, I haven't revealed that I have tried out a food this past week.
Okay.
As well.
Do tell.
I will not try it on the podcast because I'm not going to fake it being my first time. Goldfish.
What kind?
Spicy dill.
Ooh, okay.
It's so good.
I'm not a huge like dill person.
Uh-huh.
But they look tempting.
So during my boy bath, the boys took me out for dinner. They had dill fries. Delicious.
Oh.
So good. And then, of course, I go grocery shopping the next time, and there's spicy dill flavored goldfish. Amazing.
That is amazing.
Doritos, you got my number. Make some spicy dill Doritos.
I feel like I've seen that. Oh, again, Pringles also, or Doritos. One of you to sponsor us.
The Doritos, they have the tangy ketchup. I don't like that.
No, that's bad.
No.
Nasty.
And ugh.
Yeah, the sweet chili.
Oh, man. You talk about a good time.
Yeah, and the taco one. I think we both had that.
Yeah, taco one's good.
That was good. All right, we are going to dive in to some Say What. And Mike, you're going to go first.
Okay. So last night, I just started typing on my Say What segment of my Notion page. And one of the things that I have encountered and wanted to complain about was when I listen to podcasts in the car. Spotify is encouraging everybody to now put video with their podcasts. Don't know why.
Oh,
I know why. But
I didn't know that.
yeah, there are some people who are Spotify exclusive, and they, of course, like throw up the video podcast itself. I was like, there has to be a way, because it takes a lot of data for the video to play, because that's the audio to the video of it being played. So I said to myself, because I have some spotty service when I go to work, like because I'm going up and down a hill, a mountain. And I'm like, there's got to be a way where I can turn the video off when I'm not watching it or unlocking it. And so I like put it down on like Spotify podcast videos. And it wasn't until last night when I put it down, there is an option to disable the video podcast while you're on cell service. So praise be that I can now listen to my podcast in peace without the video trying to buffer as I'm going up the mountain.
See, it's funny because I don't use Spotify for podcasts. I use Apple Podcasts for podcasts.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know you could upload video.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I think we have like 1 or 2 episodes of the Funny Business Podcast as a video podcast for Spotify. It's not worth it, in my opinion. A podcast is a listening experience unless you sit there at a computer, at a TV, watching an interview per se, or watching the podcast.
Correct. Yeah. All right. My first one is pretty simple. If you can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk. Mike, I sent you a video on Instagram earlier today that you watched.
Yeah.
There is a viral video going around the internet this week of some dudes getting in a fight on a golf course. And let's just say the guy who instigated the fight, he looked obliterated. He got his ass whooped pretty good. Didn't really do anything to the other guy that kicked his ass. Almost got thrown in the lake. That would have been funny.
I think he did, though.
I think he did. I don't know. But then he got up. He didn't look wet.
Okay.
The funniest part is you listen to what the guy said when he was throwing the punches.
Bam! Or,
Yeah.
No, power bam. Bang. Mike Breen special.
Yes, a triple bang from this
Triple
guy.
bang.
3 punches to the face, just screaming bang as he did it. It was hilarious. But if you can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk.
I messaged Matt back and I was like, I was way too loud for a golf course.
There's no need to fight on a golf course.
No, I mean a little friendly, little patsy, like a little patsy there, but not in the sense of like you're hurting somebody or yeah. I mean, Matt, you're right. Like if you can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk. Like
yeah, even if the other group is like hitting into you, like yes, that is not right. Like there's no need to fight on a golf course. The last thing you need is someone to pick up a club, start swinging at you or other people. Like there's just no need.
Or
golf
running
is
you over
running you
over the golf cart too.
Right? Yeah, that could happen.
That very well could be.
Yep.
Would you ever get in a fight, or would you ever? Sorry, let me not rephrase that, but let me give another instance. Would you taunt that much on the golf course?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Because I'd be too focused on my next shot.
Yes.
That's my worry.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But I suck at golf, so it's
not good either.
All right, my last one. We had quite the fun time this 4th of July this past weekend. We had a little campfire, and we also did a lot of wedding stuff. Matt, I was a little bit out of my comfort zone. We went to paint some pottery. So it was basically a pottery place that you were able to like paint, and we'll have some bowls for our wedding that we specially made, designed, colored. As somebody who is a creative person, painting is not my strong suit, but that's okay.
Painting's hard.
It is. And then we're like, let's do some cologne and perfume. So we head to a pretty familiar place that offers a lot of cologne and perfume. And I am aware of some cologne etiquette in many cases, but the God love her, the lady that helped us, she's like, try this one. And we're also trying to find those like little like pieces of paper that like you can sniff. So I asked the lady, I was like, where are the sniffer testers paper things? The samples. So our quote associate who was helping us, she's like, here, this one's a good one. She sprayed the damn thing 3 times.
Oh gosh.
Which like, you're not really supposed to like once. Like that's when like you spray it once on a certain part of the body. But just so of course like I smell it. She goes, do you want to put it on yourself? And I'm like, let me explore some other ones. And then I said I could come back to it. And so when we got to the point of like, oh, like I could try it, she went 3 sprays on my forearm, rubs it in my forearm. Matt, I swear to God. So Jen and I both picked out perfume and cologne for our wedding. And we were smelling it the whole freaking time in the car because of how much she sprayed on both my forearm and the perfume that Jenna wants on her forearm. And I'm just like, I still smell it. I literally still smell it. Man, I was sweating balls out when I was grilling that night when we had the campfire. I still smelled it. And I had bug spray and sweat on me.
It's disgusting.
It's gross.
How is that even protocol for her? She should know it's like 1 spray.
It's like,
how much product is she wasting?
I told her, I was like, you're a good saleswoman. And of course, like the other associate next to her was like, yeah, she is. She definitely is.
That's funny. You're a big cologne guy?
I have a bottle.
Not a big cologne person. I think I've had like 1 bottle. I've maybe used it like twice, 3 times.
The funny part of it is it becomes part of your scent. So by the time you start spraying one frequently, you don't even like, I think I spray twice every day for work. I don't even smell it by the time I don't even smell it by the time I walk out of the bathroom because I'm just so used to the scent and it's part of my scent.
That is interesting. How expensive is your cologne?
What we got for my wedding was it's in the 3 digits.
Okay.
Usually depending on the bottle, like you can get it in different sizes. You can get it probably upwards of about $100, 120, 160. Depends on what size you get. Some only have like one. Some sizes, like the one I have, is like a large and an extra large.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
You have to teach me cologne on the next podcast.
One on the chest, one on the neck. You're done.
All right, that's easy enough. There we go.
Go forth, my young Padawan. People recommend that you spray it on your wrist and you rub it on your wrist, but then I've also been told too you don't rub cologne, which was another thing too. She took like my forearm and was rubbing it. I was like, what is happening?
That's awkward. All right, my last one. I'm gonna try to keep this pretty generic, because we don't talk much
about Bruno.
Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno. If you're a prominent person on television, don't get caught in an easy white lie on television. Because if you say something like months ago on TV, that's a pretty bold statement. And then a couple months later, you're like, no, that didn't happen and nothing happened. People can go back and put the tapes and put them together and you look like an idiot.
Show me the tapes.
Yeah. So just remember, even, podcasts, anything that's recorded, people can go back and find it pretty quickly.
I don't think it's the effort of finding it quickly. It's just the intensity of the person wanting to find a problem. And they are sifting through hours of podcasting. So if we said something wrong, thank you for giving us more listenership with our podcast episodes.
Yes, that's true.
Not that we said anything. Wink, wink.
Yep. And the things we say are stupid. Like people on TV, it's actually like meaningful stuff that they're lying about. So,
like considering myself a man of faith.
Yep. That's true. That's a big one.
I think it's even somebody, I forget where it was. Was it DCC, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders, saying like, oh, like we aren't media trained, and just like the pure essence of like, how can somebody have the same filter as they do on a recorded or public broadcast versus in private? That blows my mind.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's insane. But that concludes Say What.
Say what? What? Just like Matt early in the episode. What?
Bullshit.
Find all of our Good stuff. The merchandise. Take the merchandise at beacons.ai/funnybusinesspod. Mr. Matthew.
Yes.
What is your advice for the good people, the co-workers of the funny business world?
We're going to start with today's person of the week, which is LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James, person of the week this week. A couple weeks ago, he opted into his deal with the Lakers, and then his agent, Rich Paul, made a very vague statement like he wants to win, and saying the Lakers are rebuilding. So that's, you don't want to add speculation to that, right, Mike?
No.
Okay, this week he was videotaped working out and training at the Cleveland Cavaliers facility back home in Akron, Ohio, or Cleveland, Ohio. So that's not sending a message or anything. Interesting.
Well, he just loves the management there, and he's like, "Hey, can I go work out?"
Oh yeah, it's genius by the Cavs because now everyone's going to talk about him, and also genius by LeBron. He is a mastermind.
Can I go work out with you guys? I got a shoe game. I got a basketball game tomorrow.
My advice to the good people of Funny Business Podcast. Be careful grilling. Grilling can be dangerous, Mike. I'm sure you know. Even if it's gas, if it's charcoal, if it's propane, just be careful. It can be dangerous. Make sure you turn everything off properly. Make sure you clean your grill afterwards. That's very important, especially for the next time you go to use it.
Serve love on it, man. Like, you love that grill, it's gonna love you back.
Yeah. I want a Blackstone.
I think I said that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, really bad.
Which is interesting because once I said that and then I had more conversations with Jenna, I'm now back and forth on what I truly want for like a grill or a thing outside at my future home that deserves a grill.
Mm-hmm. I'm so used to my dad cooking on propane grills that that's probably the easiest thing to do for me.
Yeah. Charcoal's nice, but charcoal can be a bitch.
It can be a major bitch.
Yep. Well, just like the coal cracking, that concludes another beautiful conversation, episode, soiree, gala, whatever you may call it, of the Funny Business Podcast. And until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.